It's quite common for younger gay and lesbian people to live with somebody else, share an apartment or a house, and split expenses and enjoy the company of the other person. I met my husband in 1992, and prior to that, the 20 years prior to that, I mostly lived alone, and I enjoyed it. I was alone, but not lonely. I took advantage of the space I had. I could invite people over for sex anytime I wanted, and I had a lot of sex. But sometimes I wanted a roommate just for companionship. So periodically I would put out an ad for a roommate, and roommates usually lasted 3 months to one guy lasted 2 years. And, they last as long as they last. But for the most part, I enjoyed my roommates. But I want to talk about one that came up missing. On this occasion, I put out an ad, and I tried for a roommate, and I tried to avoid people who were young because they were not settled in their life, they were immature, and I just didn't want to deal with a lot of young people as roommates. A fellow answered an ad. He was 51. He lived and worked in Los Angeles, but wanted to move to Long Beach. And he was a psychologist and a counselor. And psychology is one of my favorite subjects. So to have a roommate who was a psychologist would be really neat, and we'd have a lot of interesting conversations. And just to say this, except for one person, I never had sex with a roommate because that was sort of a business deal, a friendship deal, and I didn't want to screw it up. The first thing I noticed about him is that he moved in furniture. Usually people will just use the furniture I have, a bed, because there's a guest room, and a bed and a chest of drawers and a closet for clothes and all this stuff. But he brought his own furniture. And that impressed me because that meant he would stay a while, and I liked that. So we were friends. I mean, not super close, but we respected each other and liked each other. And on rare occasion, we'd go out to dinner or a movie or something. But he was very busy with his work in Los Angeles. He paid $200 a month, paid on time, nice guy. So I'm not concerned about his personal life of this roommate or any other for that matter. But Saturday came and he didn't come back. I wasn't too worried. He's 51 years old. He probably went with friends or maybe went out of town. Could have told me, but I wasn't too concerned. Then Sunday came and went, and Monday. And what really sort of got to me, he never called. He never contacted me. Say, hey, Jack, don't worry, I'm with friends. I went to Palm Springs for the weekend or whatever, because I live pretty close to Palm Springs. Nothing. Now, I thought about calling the police. What am I going to tell the police? Well, they're going to say, okay, well, what's the guy's name? I don't really know what his name is. He said he was Theo Carlson, but I don't know if that's his real name. A lot of people don't use the real name in the gay community. Well, where does he work? I don't know. So calling the police didn't seem to be the right choice. I talked to friends about it. Nobody knew who he was because I'm in Long Beach, he was in LA, and we had no common friends. So nobody knew who he was. Then 10 days went by, and I really started to worry. I said, this is ridiculous. I would say no emails. We didn't have computers back then, but no mail and no phone call. So I went into the room. Furniture was still there. I knew it was always there. The closet had all his clothes in it. He had a tiny little desk with a drawer. So I went through his stuff. I went through the drawer. And I found his business card. And it said Theo Carlson. It actually said brother Theo Carlson. Well, that meant he was connected with the Catholic Church, and the church does a lot of outreach, counseling services and things like that. So I figured he was a brother, which is the counterpart to nuns in the Catholic Church. So the first thing I did is I called the number there, and it's Brother Carmichael, can I help you? And I said, well, I'm looking for Theo Carlson. Is he in? I can't give you that information. Who are you? Well, I said, I'm Jack Castiglione. I'm his roommate. He's been missing for 10 days. His stuff is all in the room, his furniture, his clothes, and I don't know where he is. He says, okay, look, he is here, but he may not want to talk to you. I'll ask him to talk to you. I'll ask him to call you, but I can't guarantee anything. I just can't. Click, hung up. Well, first of all, I knew he was alive. He was going to work, and that's it. And about 3 weeks after that phone call, I get a call from Theo, and I'm half relieved and half pissed. What the fuck is going on? Where you been? He says, Jack, I apologize. I went to Floyd's, and I met some friends there, and I had a bad day at work, so I was blowing off steam. I was buying all my friends drinks, and I would pull out this wad of bills that I had from work because I cashed my paycheck, and I had a lot of money on me. Long about 1:30 in the morning, my friends left, so I thought, well, okay, I'll go back home to where he lived in my house. And he sort of stumbles. He's kind of drunk. He knows what he's doing, but he's kind of drunk. And before he can close the car door, somebody grabs him by the chest, and a big man, muscles, big fist, ready to punch him in the mouth. And the guy says, okay, you faggot, give me that roll of money you have. I saw it. And Theo says, all I did was, because I knew if he punched me one time, he'd probably kill me. He reached behind his car seat, pulled out a .45 caliber pistol, and shot the guy in the face. Well, and he says, Jack, I had to get out of Long Beach. I don't know who saw me. I don't know who would recognize my car. Maybe they saw my license plate or got part of a license plate. But I could not go back to Long Beach. And I said, I wasn't really worried about the money because he didn't pay that much rent. He says, I know I owe you $200 for that month. The stuff that I left there, is there $200 worth of value that you want, that you can use? I said, yeah. Okay, just get rid of all my stuff. I don't care. Use it. Give it to a thrift store, whatever. As long as we're even financially, I'm okay. But I will never go back to Long Beach again. I asked him, I said, well, why did you have so much money on you? He says, well, I had to cash my check. And I know I owed you $200. I owed somebody else $500. So I just got it all in cash. And I was going to, when I got home to my place, I was going to leave it in my room, but I forgot. So I had it on me. So I said, well, do you think he's dead? He says, yeah, blood was all over the place. So, he took the side streets out of Long Beach and got on the freeway at some point north of Long Beach. He was really scared, and he was not coming back. That was one of the most interesting events involving a roommate I've ever had. If you had some experience that was unusual with a roommate, I'd really like to know about it. Make your comments below the video. Thank you for watching.